You just had it open. Go ahead.
No.
Take it. We here now.
I mean, shoot.
Drink it.
What's happening, everybody? What's happening? This is Under Construction Nerd TV channel. Your host is with the best right now. Brandon B. Smooth. What's happening?
Nah, he want to drink that whole. Look at him there. Now man, he was scared to drink in front of y'all, but now he not.
Okay.
What's going on, everybody? So, normally we'll come to you with a different type of content, but recently, as everybody knows, the world knows, the nerd community knows, we've lost a godfather of anime, of manga in general, a pioneer, if you will, somebody who changed the game completely. Akira Toriyama, the creator of Dragon Ball series as a whole, you see representing. I'm pretty sure everybody like us around the world, just like that, was devastated. I know I was. I cried like a little bitch. I ain't gonna hold you. But yeah, we were supposed to make another video, but we're gonna make that video soon. But for now, we're just kind of making this one as a tribute to a guy who, I would say, changed up everybody's lives, like their childhood. Like it was a lot, man. I'm gonna let my boy here kick it off where he got to say, and we'll kind of go back and forth with that. And yeah,
I mean, the only thing I got to say about it, bro, is just, you know, it is sad, especially, you know, when you hear that he was only 68 years old. I mean, you know, I ain't no senior citizen, but even to the seniors, like that's still young. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I think, you know, especially what he had like some type of tumor in his brain, because I heard that he like it was like his brain was bleeding and stuff like that.
Something like that.
Yeah. You know what, man? That right there. I think we could attribute a lot of these manga writers, you know, their health. That was when they say that they needed to go ahead and actually take a break and some time for themselves. Like, I think we as the consumers, we really need to go ahead and take that into consideration, because I remember, especially me, I'm always like, man, when's the next issue of Dragon Ball coming out? When's the next issue of Dragon Ball coming out? Like, why are they doing Dragon Ball Dima? Like, whatever they're calling, like, when they revert back to kids. No, I want to see a Maro arc already, you know, like, but you know, we not really taking the creators' healths and situations that they got going on in the matter as well, too. So, you know, I think that's, if anything, that's one thing that, you know, Akira Toriyama's death has really opened my eyes to. But yeah, man, Akira Toriyama's creations really open a lot of broad viewers' minds. You know, about what was looked at as entertainment. And not only what was looked at as entertainment, but just the different messages that you got from Dragon Ball, too. I mean, I don't know about you, AP, but I know for me, one message that I definitely got overall from Dragon Ball was, no matter the situation, like, don't quit. Keep moving forward. You know what I mean? Because, I mean, and even with the character of Goku himself, I mean, Goku himself was a walking, talking example of that. I mean, from the Saiyan race, he started off as, like, the weakest Saiyan in history. Probably, like, his power level was, like, up level 1. To look where his plateau is at now. It's because he never quit. He never gave up. And there's something really to speak about that, you know, like, even not just from a childhood standpoint, but even in your adulthood, you know, because you're going to go through even greater obstacles as you get older. So you can't run away from everything. Yeah, and that just goes to show you, even when you look at the series as a whole and look at what he's done, I mean, you got to think, because even back in the 70s, 80s, when anime was big in Japan and not so big over here, because we had comic books, DC, Marvels, Imagination Comics, Ninja Turtles, stuff, what have you. If you look the biggest anime that was over here in America at that time was like Speed Racer. That's it. And even then, if you look Voltron. At it, if you look at it now, even when Dragon Ball came out, there was a lot of manly anime, Fist of the North Star, like you said, Ultron, things of that, where it was mainly men who were strong, and then here comes Dragon Ball, a little kid fighting a whole dude in a vampire costume. Something that you would never thought back then would be funny to how it grew now. But I mean, a little kid going around murking a whole entire army. I mean, fighting a green giant demon lizard guy. What? And it's a lot, man. And for the people out there who, you know,
everybody can say, well, I watched anime before Dragon Ball. I don't care about that. You can say that you did, but you can't deny or even try to flex like Dragon Ball wasn't up there at least in your top 5.
Yeah.
I don't care who you are, what kind of major nerd that you claim to be. Dragon Ball at some point in your life was an introduction to anime. I don't care what you say. You could be born at any time period. You saw at least one Dragon Ball Z clip. You played one game. You had one T-shirt. You knew somebody in your friend group who played it, watched it, and loved it. You picked up a manga and read it at least one or twice in your life. I can't nobody say that this man didn't really change the face of manga. Like,
facts.
When you hear anime, you're going to think about your Dragon Ball Z's. You're going to think about your Sailor Moons and your Hakushos and your Fist of the North Stars. But when you hear anime that's a go-to, Dragon Ball, you'd be crazy not to say Dragon Ball is not a part of that.
Yeah.
And it's just what it is. Like, everybody can remember, and if you're old enough like we are to remember when Toonami first aired back in 1997.
Man, bro,
back in 1997. If
that
you were
was the
not there,
haven. Before Crunchyroll, before
all
Funimation, it was Toonami. Toonami was the go-to for anime.
There you go. And even before then, I'll never forget, because back then they only showed Thundercats. They showed Voltron. They showed Speed Racer. They had Batman animated series, Superman animated series, and what's the other one? It was another one they had. It's from top of my tongue. Used to come on a lot. SWAT Cats.
SWAT Cats.
And I'll never forget, in January 1998, the very first commercial for Dragon Ball took off, and the rest is history, man.
I guarantee you, bro, I didn't even know what I was looking at. The first time I remember actually seeing Dragon Ball Z, they started it off with the Namek Saga, and I remember it was Gohan going up against your man Raccoon. And I remember being like a 5-year-old little boy just sitting down watching TV. I was with my grandparents at the time, and I was like, I had never seen anything like this. I was like, this little kid is going up against this big grown adult, but he was getting beat up, but still at the same time, it's like he's still getting up and fighting back, and then all of a sudden, this guy in this orange gi with this wild crazy hair just comes in and one shots Raccoon. I'm like, man, what am I looking at here? All these Kai blasts, and it just intrigued me like that, and I was hooked instantly. So, I mean, Dragon Ball has been a part of my life since I was 5.
It's a great
I'm 32
thing.
now. It's
a great thing, and it's like, I just wish, I'm not even gonna say I wish. I'm glad that we all got to experience the legacy, because this man has been doing this or did this for 45 years. From the very first time he hit the scene with his first manga, Dr. Slump, until now, you earned the right to say, hey, I did this. I created something that across the board everybody recognized. He was pretty much, I'm gonna say, the MJ of manga, because you got to think everything he did was there. Yeah, people can deny this fact. People can say what you want to say, but without Dragon Ball, 85% of manga today, or your favorite creator, would not even be existing.
There would be no Naruto.
Every time I see that on Facebook, people are like, well, Dragon Ball influenced this. You're wrong, because half the manga creators right now are 30 and lower. And I guarantee you, I promise you, around that time like we were, Dragon Ball Z was still relevant. I don't care what you say. I promise you, from Fairy Tail, Bleach, Naruto, One Piece, Toriko, all of that. I promise you, Attack on Titan, in some way or form, Dragon Ball Z was part of their lives. And y'all would be a fool to say that it wasn't, or you'd be a fool to say that Dragon Ball Z had no influence in this whatsoever. Even if it did influence it, I promise you, your favorite creator at some point loved it and took even a small glimpse of it. It's like, you know what, let me just throw this little reference in here as this part.
I mean, and that's not even to show, that's not even to throw shade on the new animes that are out, because I love Demon Slayer. Yeah. But at the same time, everybody's like, oh, Demon Slayer is so much better than Dragon Ball. No, it's not. I'm sorry. It's not.
Dragon Ball is its own thing.
It just has better animation. But story-wise, Dragon Ball was a great story, fantastic character development. I don't care what anybody says. Goku went through some great character development as well. Because people forget.
From Dragon Ball on up?
Yeah, people forget. At one point in Dragon Ball, Goku was a killer who learned the value of life by getting trained by Kami, and now all of a sudden he values life at every precious moment.
Well, yeah, I remember he hit his head when he was a baby. Then he became like
that changed Kakarot to Goku. So that. But Goku was still the killer. Like, Goku still had that killer instinct.
But we got a couple seconds left. We're gonna do a part 2. We just had to get the induction out the way. Facts. Thank y'all, man. Just thank y'all, and we'll be back. We'll be back.